All right, let's talk about your phone. And not just your phone, but what you do on it. Think for a second, when was the last time you posted something really personal? If it's been a minute, you're not just being quiet. You're actually part of this huge, unspoken movement. We're calling it Posting Zero, and it's all about the surprising power of digital silence. You know that feeling. You're there, you're scrolling, you're watching stories, but you're a ghost. You're present, but totally invisible. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, well, you're not just lurking. You're part of something much, much bigger. And look, this isn't just a hunch. The numbers are actually pretty stark. Global social media use has dropped by almost 10% from its peak. And guess who's leading the exit from the public square? Yep, Gen Z. But hold on, don't get it twisted. This is not about being antisocial or ditching your friends. It's more like a strategic retreat. So let's pull back the curtain and really get into the psychology of why millions of people are choosing silence over the share button. Okay, first things first, let's look inside. What is actually going on in the mind of someone who doesn't post? What makes them tick? Or, I guess, what makes them not click post? Well, a big piece of the puzzle is something psychologists call self-concept clarity. The best way to think about it is you just know who you are. Your sense of self is stable. You're not crowdsourcing your identity by posting a selfie and waiting for the comments to tell you who you are today. You've already got that figured out. And that really boils down to where you get your energy from. Non-posters tend to run on internal validation. Their self-worth is an inside job, built on their own values and their own character. Not on that quick hit dopamine rush from likes and shares. They're basically self-powered. This leads right into another huge psychological trait, an internal locus of control. It's that fundamental belief that you are the one in the driver's seat of your own life. You make things happen. You're not just a passenger waiting for the algorithm to serve you up your next feeling. You've got your hands on the wheel. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's not about being invisible. It's about choosing who sees you. They don't need validation from a piece of code because they're already getting it from the people who actually matter in their real lives. So it's not just about what's going on inside your head. It's also a reaction to what's happening outside. Because let's be honest, the digital stage has become a really exhausting place to perform. To really get this, we can look at this cool theory from sociologist Irving Goffman called dramaturgy. He basically said that all of social life is like a play. We're all actors, we have a front stage self for the public, and a backstage self for when we're with people we trust. Social media just put that front stage under stadium floodlights. And here's the difference, right? Your front stage is perfect, polished, always successful. But your backstage, that's the real you. Messy, authentic, relaxed. The big problem is that social media basically demands we live on that front stage, all day, every day. And the result of all that performing? It's called dramaturgical exhaustion. It's a real psychological burnout from the sheer effort of keeping that perfect mask on. So when someone chooses not to post, they're not being lazy. They're choosing peace over performance. Now let's zoom out, because this isn't just a personal choice in a vacuum. The entire environment has changed. It's not you, it's the platforms themselves. The friendly town square we thought we signed up for, it's gone. So why doesn't anyone just casually post anymore? Well, there are 5 huge reasons. 1, ads. They've totally swamped out photos of your friends. 2, the fear of judgment is real. Saying the wrong thing can have huge consequences. 3, everything is for sale. Your feed is a marketplace. 4, the whiplash of seeing a selfie next to a global tragedy is just weird. And 5, TikTok basically made it so every single post feels like it needs to be a viral masterpiece. I mean, think about it. Your casual photo from a weekend trip is now in direct competition with a multi-million-dollar ad campaign from a giant brand. The game is rigged. There's almost no point in even trying to share something small and personal. So if we're not posting, why are we still scrolling? Well, a lot of it is just FoMO, that fear of missing out, and honestly, boredom. We log on looking for a connection, but we end up just passively consuming. And all the research shows that this kind of use actually makes us feel worse, not better. So what's the answer to this messed up environment? It's a quiet revolution, and it's being led by the generation that grew up in the middle of it all, Gen Z. They're not logging off, they're migrating. Their public, main accounts are becoming ghost towns. All the real, messy, funny stuff moves to private accounts, Finstas, with maybe 100 trusted people. And the really deep, authentic sharing, That's happening in super private group chats with just 15 or 20 close friends. Posting isn't dead, it's just moved to safer neighborhoods. And here's what's so wild. This has kind of always been the way the internet works. You've heard of the 190-90 rule, right? For years, 90% of people have just consumed content. They lurk. But what's different now is that it's not passive anymore. It's an active, intentional choice. And that right there is the key takeaway. In a world that screams at you to build a personal brand, to monetize your personality, choosing not to is a quiet but totally radical act. It's a refusal to turn yourself into a product. It's taking back ownership of your own life. Okay, so after all that, what's the verdict on posting zero? What have we learned? It all comes down to drawing a boundary, a personal red line in the digital sand. It's a clear statement that says no to the endless pressure to perform, no to having every bit of your life mined for data, and no to the constant cognitive burnout. It's an act of pure self-preservation. So that leaves us with one last question to think about. In a world that is designed to see you, track you, and sell your attention, could it be that choosing to be unseen is the most powerful thing you can do?